I wanted to agree with your opening comments regarding our veterans who work within the VA. And I do believe that most of those veterans are working hard every single day and are doing a good job. And I believe that these men and women who served in uniform were dedicated, and I believe these men and women who no longer are in uniform are equally as dedicated. I certainly don't want the men and women working within the VA to be discouraged, but they do need to understand that they have been working in a system that has lost its way, in a structure that has lost its way, and as a consequence was, particularly in this waitlist issue, doomed to failure. And so I don't want them to I don't want them to misunderstand in these discussions that this is not a criticism of them individually, but it is a criticism of the system of which they were working in.
Thank you for that.
And to that end, I was also curious to know from you what the VA is currently doing. We're all trying to get our arms around the problem and to fully define the problem, and how you have used the VSOs to help in that process, and how you intend to use the VSOs to come up with solutions.
The VSOs, I think, are incredibly important to us moving forward. They've been incredibly important to us all along, but today, yesterday, tomorrow, moving forward, they are going to be critical. As I said, if we're going to change an organization and one that's driven on value, we have to do what's important to those who we serve. And they are the reflection of that. And in fact, I was very poignantly told that, you didn't need all your numbers to know there was a problem. We've been telling you. You needed to listen to us. I take that very much to heart. One of the things that we have done just as a top line is, so I met yesterday with the group of the VSOs we have breakfast once a month, but it went much longer than we normally do because there are a lot of messages that a lot of things we were discussing. Acting Secretary Gibson has been meeting with them quite frequently, as well as we are moving things forward. But the important thing is that the facility and facility directors are also meeting with their VSOs on a regular basis. And in some facilities, and I would guess they're probably among the very high-performing facilities, they're listening. In other facilities, they might be transmitting. But without judgment or without trying to figure out who's doing what, our instructions forward is you must sit down with your VSOs and listen to them. You must sit and listen to them, because that's going to be how we're going to judge the progress that we're making. So it's incredible. It's very insightful on your part, and thank you very much.
So if I return to my district and talk to the leadership team at my CBOC in my county, that I can be assured that they've been instructed to listen to our local VSOs?
If you go back and, well, I hope they have, yeah. And if you go back and talk to your local VSOs and they're not getting the attention that they get, we've asked the senior leadership in the VSOs to transmit the message down to their folks that work every day in the facility serving veterans to get that back up the chain, because that's the only feedback we'll have. Obviously we can make them send minutes of their meetings and things like that, but that's not real productive. It's our people being listened to, and we can get that back by dialogue through those systems.
Thank you. And in terms of my local CBOC, we know that the demand is greater than the supply. We know that we need more space at our CBOC. That has been confirmed both by the VA and the community. And so I am just wondering, how often the VA looks at long-range capital plan updates, and if you have any idea when the Oxnard CBOC will be added to a long-range capital plan.
There's two questions there. There is the SKIP, as you're aware, which is the Capital Asset Management Program. I don't know off the top of my head the prioritization of Oxnard, although I did live in Oxnard. My dad was stationed at Point Magoo, so I grew up there. But it's, I can find out. I don't know what the status is right now.